Viwe Chilwana.
I'm Labika Rawood. For more information on the work that we do and how you can help us to help others, please visit our website www.secondchances.org.za.
In Junior Achievement South Africa, its focus is really to expose youngsters within high school and out of school to entrepreneurial thinking, and ours is focused at high school from grade 10 to 12.
I'm very big on youth empowerment and making a difference and touching lives and impacting the lives of our young people. That's practically what I do with my foundation as well, and ever since I was crowned as Miss SA.
The goal of the magazine is to basically share information that will be able to assist small business owners.
You're listening to The Social Show with Viwe Chilwana
And Labika Rawood, live on brandlive.co.za.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to The Social Show. It's a beautiful day. I'm not complaining about the weather. Viwe Chilwana, my beautiful co-host, how are you?
I am very well. I am the same. I feel like the more rain, the merrier, honestly.
Definitely.
Yes.
And we were just talking about, drought yesterday. So, I mean, this is also great. It's really great.
It's refreshing.
Okay, let's go into our news. So, in our news today, in partnership with Eketwini Municipality, Coral Brick hosts a graduation ceremony for 30 previously disadvantaged individuals who successfully completed a bricklaying course at Coral Brick's Adver Training Centre.
Wow.
The conference hall at Durban's popular Botanic Gardens was the setting for the joyful occasion on Wednesday, the 19th of September, as 30 students were presented with certificates as successful graduates of the bricklaying course facilitated by Coral Brick. The 9-week bricklaying course the students completed is one that Coral Brick is no stranger in conducting. Coral Brick currently has 3 bricklayer training centres which provide CETA, which stands for Construction, Education and Training Authority, accredited certifications in the craft. These centres are not for profit and purely serve to benefit the community and provide a skill to previously unskilled members of society. Not only this, but the centres located in Durban, Gauteng and the Western Cape provide training that is essential to South Africa's construction industry. Now, I just think this is such a great platform, especially for those students who cannot afford fees, and who'd like to go into the construction, education or construction or education sectors. I think this is such a great platform for them to get into, and I mean it's free,
I mean fees must fall, guys.
Fees must fall.
And
Hashtag
the more, the better. The freer the education, the better.
The better. Yeah, I agree with you.
Okay, in other news, Labika, Hotel Verde, recognized as the best urban hotel at the Skull International Sustainable Tourism Awards, during the 15th annual Skull in International Sustainable Tourism Awards held in Monaco. Africa's greenest hotel, Hotel Verde, situated at Cape Town International Airport, was voted the global winner in the urban accommodation category. Skull is a professional organization of tourism leaders around the world promoting global tourism and friendship. The Skull International Sustainable Award global winners were announced by the president of Skull International, Nigel Pickleton, and the judging panel made the following comment about the Hotel Verde winner in the urban accommodation category. So they said Hotel Verde is outstanding in their efforts and their consistent dedication to creating the least environmental impact on the local community. Their LEED certification and various investments to ensure that the infrastructure, maintenance and operations are green, something that, has made them very notable among other submissions. They're highly innovative and appear to have a good grasp of how to create a project that will enable a long-term positive difference. Hotel Verde in Cape Town, South Africa serves as a good example to other hotels in the world, providing a role model for a higher ecological hotel management. Wow. Have you been there? I know you're from Cape Town. Have you been to Hotel Verde?
So because I'm from Cape Town,
Yeah.
I need to go there. Wow,
You should go. I think, wow, that's great. I mean, I didn't even think that, hotels played in the space of environment and making sure the environment is great. So it's so amazing to know that they are actually so aware of their contribution to the environment.
Yeah.
Well done, Hotel Verde. I'm gonna go next time I'm in Cape Town.
I think you and I should go, Viwe. Like, I know you don't like hanging out with me, but I'm just saying.
I will definitely go with you, Lubika.
Great. Okay, cool. Okay, in other news, PPG Group company Prominent Paints is lending a helping hand to non-profit organization Cotlands through a national feel-good fundraising campaign that has raised 150,000 rand. The paint company launched a special Cotlands promo pack in July, which quickly sold out, proving South Africans have a heart and, despite their own economic pressures, are still willing to participate in cause-related campaigns.
Nice.
Sold exclusively through its select store partners and paint centers throughout the country. For every promo Sheen White PVA 20-litre paint sold, Prominent Paints donates 30 rand to the Early Childhood Development Charity, which serves vulnerable children up to the age of 6. Prominent Paints spokesperson for the campaign mentioned in a press statement that they are or they express their gratitude to the contractors and that kind of thing. And I just think that that this is really, 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 because I know Cotlands, I worked with him. So I think this is such a great, great initiative,
And I think ECD centers need more, investment. And I think any initiative that, aligns itself with ECD is doing very well and is really thinking about the future of South African leaders. Because, the youth, again, is important. In other news, SA ratifies Paris Agreement on climate change. South Africa's National Assembly has formally approved the country's ratification of the Paris Agreement reached on the 21st Conference of Parties to the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. Well, this means that the country will formally join the ranks of those who have ratified the Paris Agreement and will ensure that the country has a seat at the negotiation table at the first meeting of these parties in Morocco this month. The WWF South Africa CEO, Dr. Monet Du Plessis, actually commented and said it's a great moment to see South Africa joining the ranks of countries that have ratified the Paris Agreement. And we know that there is an incredible journey and an incredible urgency to act on climate change in South Africa. You know what I mean? Also, as South Africa is now a formal party to the Paris Agreement, they also have an even higher responsibility to fight climate change and build a low carbon future rather. And I think, again, it's basically what we were talking about yesterday.
Yes.
Climate change, it needs to be something of importance in CSI.
Yes.
And I think, when South Africa joins these kinds of agreements, it sort of urges corporates to also look at climate change a little bit more seriously.
Yes, of course, I agree. Okay, now, Minta, it's November, which basically means that it's Movember. I don't know if there are many... Viewer, why are you looking at me like that?
Okay, on.
Okay. I don't know if there are many people who... participate in this Movember movement. But, Viwe, is there something you want to tell me?
Don't you participate?
Okay, so I'm going to pretend that I didn't hear anything.
Carry on. I'm sorry.
Okay, it's cool. Okay, so in its 12th year, the Movember campaign has now become a global movement, with the Mo becoming the non-official ribbon for men's health. In South Africa, tens of thousands of men have been diagnosed with these diseases annually, yet there's still a stigma around male-related illnesses. Now, the Movember campaign aims to change all that by creating awareness of these conditions without fear of judgment. Men's health in South Africa requires prioritization by raising awareness and funds, and in turn, program investment through official beneficiaries, NGOs, and collaborating with the government. Now, I don't know if many of you know how the Movember campaign works. So it basically calls men and women, if you like
can.
me and
Yes.
and you want to really grow your
moustache.
so what you do is on the first, it started yesterday, so yesterday was the 1st of November,
Yeah.
and on the 1st November, or rather 31st of October, you shave all your moustache off,
And beard and whatever's
yeah,
on
and
your face.
everything that's on your not your eyebrow. Now, viewer, you see now,
Sorry.
you're selling wrong information.
Okay, carry on.
So you shave your moustache and maybe beard if you'd like to. And then on the 1st of November, you commit to growing that moustache for the entire month of November. And that is all just to raise awareness about
Men's
prostate
health.
and men's health
Wow.
and prostate cancer. And testicular cancer as
yes.
well. So, I mean, I know so many guys and so many guys in my family who don't want to talk about this. It's something that they don't really want to talk about. But we're not going to go into that. We're just letting you know that it's Movember. It's the month of Movember.
I like beards. I like beards. I think, you know.
Okay.
I like yours especially. It's my favorite one.
I did not hear that. But anyways, it's Movember. Please, if you can, share some pics of you and maybe your journey. If you're a female, if you're a male.
And attach and send it to Social TV.
Yes.
We like to see those, and maybe, you know, just comment on them on next time and just say, you know what, you're doing very well.
Yes,
and we'll cheer you on, isn't it?
We will. I will, because Viwe, I don't even know. Sometimes I wonder about Viwe. But anyways, okay, so it's Wednesday. People, it's Wednesday. And as you know by now, if you don't know, we usually have a Women Crush Wednesday.
Yes.
Every Wednesday. And a Women Crush Wednesday, ons almal ken dit. We all know that it's a hashtag that is used widely on social media.
So we're giving it a bit of power, and we're saying, okay, WCW, it's not only about how you look, it's also about the things you've done as a woman. And I think women are a very vital force in South Africa, especially at this time. It's crazy politically. We decided to look at the political landscape to say, okay, who are the women that are really changing the game and really making South Africans think? And I think you can start, Labika, with your WCW.
Okay, so my WCW is Cheryl Carolus. Now, Cheryl Carolus is a South African politician who was born in Silvertown on the Cape Flats. I was also born in Cape Town, so I think that's also very relatable, and that's why I love her so much. But Cheryl became involved in politics while still at school and became an activist after joining the United Democratic Front in 1983. Now, in May 1990, Carolus was elected to be part of the African National Congress's delegation, which held talks with the apartheid government. And in July 1991, she was elected to the ANC's National Executive Committee.
Wow.
She became South Africa's High Commissioner in London.
Wow.
Between 2001 and 2004. And she was also the Chief Executive Officer of SA Tourism. She was also the board chairperson for South African National Parks. And in 2009, she assumed this position as South African Airways. She's also chairperson of Peotona Holdings, which is an investment company that deals with business development. And she's currently a member of the executive committee of the International Crisis Group. Now, the reason why, I know I actually interviewed Cheryl Carolus, and she's a very bold woman. You know, she's not afraid to speak her mind, and that is also why I really like or admire Cheryl Carolus, and that is why she's also my Woman Crush Wednesdays. She works, she was a part of the ANC, and she's still, you know, she makes it known that she's still part of the ANC. She still supports the ANC. However, she's not afraid to talk about what
the shortcomings.
Yes, about like she mentioned now in not too long ago that, you know, how she feels about our president Jacob Zuma, and she mentioned that he should fall, basically. You know, Zuma shouldn't be president and that kind of thing, and that's
takes guts.
It takes guts, especially when you've been affiliated with the political party for so long, for so many years.
It's your heart, it's your everything, and you're saying, you guys aren't doing a good job, guys.
Yes.
Pull up your socks.
Exactly. So Cheryl Carolus, I think you are a phenomenal woman, and I think that so many other young people, including myself, aspire just to be more bold and to tackle certain things, and, you know, to speak up, even though we might get judged for it and people might not like our opinions, as long as we know that if we're not happy, we're going to speak up. And that is why I really love Cheryl Carolus. Okay, wow. Viwe, I know you have a Woman Crush Wednesday as well.
Well, first of all, I want to say Cheryl is dope. Okay, she's amazing, and I think she's a great role model for young women, especially women in Cape Town. You know, sometimes you want to look at someone who's homegrown, and you want to look at them and be like, how did she make it out of the Cape Flats to the commissioner? You know, it's crazy stuff. My Woman Crush Wednesday today is also in the political space. In fact, she is, I think, solely responsible for a lot of the craziness happening in South Africa, and especially in Pretoria at the given moment. And if you don't know, I'm sure you kind of guessed when I talked about Pretoria. My Woman Crush Wednesday is Thuli Madonsela, who is a South African advocate and was recently recently served from 2009 to 2016 as the public protector and is now succeeded by the advocate that is in now. I just can't find her name, sadly, because, obviously Thuli Madonsela is queen.
She
But
is.
anyway, she has done a lot of things in her life. I mean, we could go on all of her great marks in her life, but one of the things that I loved about her is that during the apartheid, time in 1994, they wanted her to be an ANC MP, and she declined. She said, you know what, guys, I don't know what you guys do. I don't want to do it. Wow. And then she's declined a lot of other candidacies between the ANC had given to her thereafter, and that just shows strength, the woman who knows what she wants. But before that, obviously, her biggest role as of yet and to date is her role as a public protector role that, really got us to acknowledge her power and her fierceness and her greatness. She investigated the kickbacks received by Julius Malema in the context of the traffic department contracts given to the external contractor of On Point Engineering. Do you remember when Julius was a bit under fire because people assumed that the company was his, the contracted company was his, and it just didn't match up, and she was one of the people who blew the whistle on that. But then she did even the craziest thing straight after that. She compiled not only the Nkandla report but also the state capture report, which now is the biggest political firing war zone at the moment, because so many people first of all discredited her from her the findings she found in the reports, both of them, and they just told her, she's giving ANC a bad name, she needs to behave correctly. So far that people had agendas against her. She's gotten so much for just telling the truth. And now with the state capture, Pretoria people are marching so that the state capture report can be given to the public, because it's about the public. She's public protector, and and people are just looking at trying to implicate her because they don't want the truth to come out. I know public works is under fire. I know our president is under fire. Our president is always under fire, but this is really the turning point. And I think Thuli Madonsela, for standing up as a woman in a male-dominated, corrupted space like the government and ANC right now, it is amazing to see. It is amazing to see a black girl standing up and saying the truth and telling the truth, and not just laying by the wayside and letting things happen just because you want to be liked. You want to be the girl that gets all the jobs. And you can see from the fact that she declined a lot of them, from the fact that she knew exactly what her purpose was as a public protector. You can just see that this is a woman who knew exactly what it is that she wants to do. And I think, now that she was asked what it is that she wants to do, because now she's gone, right? Yeah. And she said, politics is not really the kind of space she wants to see herself really changing people's lives. She did it for the country, but she has bigger plans. And I can't wait to find out what those plans will be. And I hope I'm part of the plans, Thuli. I'm talking about you. You're my WCW. I'd love to work under you.
Yeah, no, of course.
But she's great. She's my WCW.
And what I like about her is she doesn't back down from a fight.
No.
She has all these facts. This is what she's gonna say. And although you get so many people bad mouthing her and telling her where to get off and that kind of thing, she still stands.
She stuck to the truth.
And she stuck to the truth, and she's still done her job. And she could have given up whenever she had the chance, but she didn't. So
it's very difficult and so easy to give up. It's so easy to give up. All I'm saying is let the people get the report, man. I think we're ready. We're ready for the report. Okay, I think we'll take a break now, and then when we come back, we'll give you the topic of the day. And I hope you really are waiting for this one. It's going to be very juicy. Take a little break.
You're listening to brandlive.co.za, an industry first in the world of internet radio. Not only are we an internet radio station, we're an internet radio platform for your brand. So why not expose your brand to potentially thousands of listeners and improve your customer relationships and brand equity with podcasts and live broadcasts? Be sure to check brandlive.co.za for more information. brandlive.co.za, harnessing the power of internet radio.
The
Social Show is the only show that gives you updated content on all things CSI.
The show will interrogate and report on the latest initiatives that are supported, developed, and initiated by the public and private sector.
Hosted by myself, Viwe Cholwana,
And me, Lebika Robert,
every week from 4 to 5 p.m. Hear it on brandlive.co.za.
see it on social-tv.co.za.
brandlive.co.za, harnessing the power of talk radio.
Gotta live without caution. You don't need no validation. It's an awesome revelation. Clear your vision because you no mistake that needs correction. Show some self-appreciation. You're a beautiful reflection of perfection. Live your truth. Ooh. Live your truth. I got some time. While I'm so heavy on your mind, I see your time. But I know you learn to survive. I got some time. You may not be a friend of mine, but that's alright. Tell me what's on your mind. Whoa. You gotta live without caution. You don't need no validation. It's an awesome revelation. Clear your vision because you no mistake that needs correction. Show some self-appreciation. You're a beautiful reflection of perfection. Live your truth. Ooh. Live your truth. I used to believe that dreams were made for sleeping. If spring was today, I would never amount to anything. Tall, my soul for the gold and the green. But I rose for the hell of it. Take a lot to give it all you got to make sure nobody takes your spot. No, it don't take a lot to give it all you got to make sure nobody takes your spot. It's an awesome revelation. Clear your vision because you no mistake that needs correction. Show some self-appreciation. You're a beautiful reflection of perfection. Live your truth. Ooh. Live your truth.
We're back. You're listening to The Social Show with Viwe Chilwana and Libika Raward. Okay, so before the break, we spoke about our Women Crush Wednesdays, which we are going to have every Wednesday. Mine was Cheryl Carolus, who is a South African politician, and then Viwe's was Tuli Madonsela, who is the public protector.
Yes.
Okay, so now I want you guys to listen closely. We have an amazing, well, I think it's a really juicy topic, as we mentioned before.
Yes.
So our topic today is, I don't think you're ready for this.
Oh, they're not ready.
They aren't, eh?
You guys need to get ready. Sit down.
I think I must tell them,
Get
maybe
a chair.
and get some popcorn. Maybe I must tell them after 30 minutes. What do you
I
think?
think. No, I have to. Got stuff to do. I'm joking.
Okay, so today's topic is CSI and CSR gone wrong now. This is something we're going to discuss every Wednesday. We're going to discuss corporate companies that have, or CSI initiatives by corporate companies that have failed. Okay, now listen carefully, people. We are not bad-mouthing companies. We're just highlighting initiatives that may have been meaningless according to research, in the past.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, and I just want to highlight the difference between CSI and CSR. I think a lot of people think it's the same thing, and it isn't, right? CSI is corporate social investment. So what we do, what it is actually how much sort of money, how much donations, charities, the kind of stuff that CSR corporates will give money to, or give money to a cause. They'll give money to a campaign. They'll support it financially. That is CSR. You're investing in a cause. You're investing in an NGO. And CSR is more like, if a company has a specific thing that they're doing within their services, they need to make sure it's conducive to the environment, conducive to the community. So it's their responsibility to its customers, to its communities. In essence, when you're speaking about what service delivery they give off. So that's the difference. So it's responsibility and investment. That's what we're looking at today. Those two things and how they've gone wrong in the past. So, Libika, can you start?
Yes, of
the
course.
conversation?
But you know what? You learn something new every day. So if you didn't know that, now you know. Thank you, Viwe. Okay, so my first company is Volkswagen.
Oh, wow.
So now,
I like the cars.
The cars, yes.
They're great.
Okay, so now the Volkswagen case, there was a huge case which represented, above all, an absolute failure in terms of corporate social responsibility.
Wow.
Now, the company deliberately set out to design a means to circumvent emissions control, which is a stratagem known at the highest level, with the aim of giving the company an unfair advantage over its competitors that made it the world's #1 car maker, in large part of the basis of its supposedly environmentally friendly cars. Meanwhile, it was poisoning the planet.
You are joking.
I am not, Sissy. I am not joking. And Volkswagen did all it could to hide the fact that its diesel engines were highly contaminating.
No.
Yes.
So basically what you're saying is they said, okay, we are doing a greenhouse. We're going to make sure that the environment is great. That's why. And then they got told, okay, they got sort of awarded that they're the best car company.
And then
Gandhi, on the other
about it.
side, they're actually killing the environment. Isn't that like wrong on so many levels? Like that's like fraud. That's like you're lying to the public.
That's like Woolies selling halal food and then like
Saying
it's horse
actually
meat.
Exactly.
And I mean like then I'm buying the horse meat. You see?
Exactly.
So I'm just saying, like, Volkswagen, how could you do that to us? How could you lie to us?
No, but you know what it is? It's again, when they think of the brand and they think of the profit beyond the actual responsibility they have to the community and the people that buy Volkswagen cars. I mean, they're beautiful, they're great, but I mean, if people are going to end up dying in 30, 40 years because of the emissions or climate change or environmental awareness, you know, is at a low now. Imagine 30, our kids, what are they going to be breathing?
Exactly, that's the thing. And if something is not eco-friendly, at least tell us.
Yes.
You know, now we're thinking we're buying an eco-friendly car. We're probably spending more money on this car because it's eco-friendly. Can't TV.
It's not at all.
Hi, Volkswagen.
Wow.
So that's a failed CSI initiative. Well, they
completely lied.
They tricked the public into thinking that they were all about going green, yet they weren't.
They failed to mention
They
the diesel part that, we kind of clean the
And
environment.
you know what? A report showed that they didn't care. They didn't even care that the public found out. They were just
Wow.
like, but hey, we were still number one as long as we were
But that's
number
what it
one.
is, right? Profits. Wow. Okay, on my side, in CSI gone wrong rather, the Holiday Inn, in a few years ago, came up with this multi-billion rand idea. So what happened was that the CSI campaign was basically to highlight extraordinary journeys of people who had setbacks and overcame them. That was the CSI initiative. That was their campaign, to highlight people's journeys, any people that they thought really were able to overcome those setbacks. And you know what? I get it. From a larger perspective, it's good to highlight the personal journeys of people who have, sort of overcame really hard times. But I feel like it's a multi-billion rand campaign, and all you're doing is highlighting stories. That makes no sense. It doesn't even correlate with what your slogan is, let alone what it is that you stand for. How did this tie into their brand? How did this tie into their motives as the Holiday Inn? I feel like this has completely failed. They completely neglected their customers, their supporters. Because if you think Holiday Inn, it's a home away from home. That's basically their slogan. And what they're saying is we're going to talk about the extraordinary journey of people. I just don't get it. I think, and this is just my 2 cents, they should have looked at improving housing for people, making sure that they have effective housing strategies for people who are living in spaces where the housing isn't that good. They should have looked at homelessness. They should have looked at things that are more core or focused into their brand. And I think that's when a lot of companies go wrong. They start nitpicking at things they don't know about. And I'm not saying they shouldn't look at a variety of things. I'm just saying if your speciality is housing or home, understanding the home, or understanding people living under a roof, it's very important that you kind of work within that space, work within your means, I mean. So I think that's a really, really not smart multi-billion campaign. I think they could have done so much more if they looked at their strengths instead of, journeys of people. I mean, it's the kind of thing that you sort of wake up and you're like, they're doing what? Have you ever felt like that when you're just like, Holiday Inn is doing what?
Yeah.
You can't even think of the campaign and the initiative and the brand in one sentence, because it's like, are you guys, let's fix it, or are you guys really trying to change your community? So I really feel like they were a bit off. But I mean, any good is good. But I mean, they could have done something a little bit better. It was unthoughtful.
Yeah, and I think maybe it also ties in with other companies who see CSI as just writing a check and giving it to whoever.
Yeah.
You need to, if you're really going to invest, see, a corporate social investment is all about really investing in, whatever initiative or communities and that kind of thing. So now, this campaign is ridiculous. Like, I don't even want to repeat it.
I'm saying if you don't play to your strengths first. I mean, for me, I would understand a bank, for instance, could maybe, if it's a bank, for instance, like, Absa, for instance, they have to invest in something and that's what they did, with their Bark. They sponsored a school, a software development school. And in that sponsorship, all the people who got in the program, all the people who got within, that program are eventually hired by Absa. Wow. So it's
an investment. It really is.
And they understand their capacity, they understand what they need, they understand where they lack. So people aren't just going to be skilled, they're not going to have jobs. They're actually really, understanding their space. So I think Holiday Inn, guys, you guys should have really, really thought about that one.
Yes, of course. And I mean, I think what we're trying to say is when you want to invest in a company or in an organization or an NGO or a community, at least, do your research and see how will this benefit that community. Just writing a check is not going to necessarily help. Yes, that's not going to help. And Holiday Inn should have really done their research and really listened to the public and found out what they wanted. What they wanted might not necessarily have been, it might have been a house, or RDP houses.
It's much more close to their brand.
Yes. Yeah. Okay, so another story that I'd like to highlight is, so I don't know if you know about Indra Nooyi. She's Pepsi's charismatic CEO. Now, not too long ago, she realized that the public could increasingly pressure the firm to make its products healthier. Okay, so this is her realization. She thought, okay, the public could want healthier products. So she argued that a shift toward healthier products would be good for society at large and for Pepsi's bottom line. John Seabrook wrote about the effort in a 2011 article. Now, Nooyi has backed up her rhetoric with concrete steps, acquiring healthier brands like Tropicana and Quaker Oats, and creating Pepsi Next. So she managed to create Pepsi Next, which is a lower calorie version of the flagship brand. She even hired a former official from the World Health Organization to oversee the reforms. Initially, Nooyi won wide acclaim for her efforts. Fortune hailed her as the most powerful woman in business 5 years in a row. Imagine that. And institutions including the New York University and Duke University gave her honorary degrees. However, Pepsi's investors have long been skeptical, and during her tenure, Coca-Cola's stock price doubled. While Pepsi stagnated, even losing its number 2 position in the Coca-Cola market to Diet Coke in 2010. Now, according to a report, investors believe that her socially responsible vision is a bad business strategy that diverts resources from Pepsi's successful, if unhealthy, core brands. Now, even if you look at it, Coca-Cola is much more popular than Pepsi. Now, I think what she had in mind, she had quite a good, and I'm using good relatively, she had quite a good...
she wanted it to be a little more healthy.
Yes, that's what and she introduced Pepsi Next, but that's not what the public wanted. They don't care about healthy when they're drinking acidic drinks.
But it's a crazy one, because I get you, because I think she really was trying to change the game. And if you look at Coca-Cola now, they have like 4 versions of, like, there's Coca-Cola Life, Coca-Cola Daytime, I don't know. There's like 4 of them, which are, about making sure that, people who drink Coke are more healthier. But what I'm saying is, it maybe was too early for the time. Especially Pepsi going against Coke at the time, it was a little bit too early to initiate that kind of things. Because you see Coke is actually doing it now. But here's the thing. It's bad in the fact that the money that they were supposed to make, they didn't make. So which means people weren't buying it. Yeah. Like you say, they didn't hear her strategy. But it's good because she was trying to help them in the longer run. She was saying, you can drink Coke, Pepsi and not feel like
bloated or anything.
That's the thing. You're going to be healthier even if you drink an acidic drink. So it's a hard one.
It is. But I think when it comes to business, sometimes good is not what helps your business. Yeah. So if you're going to try and fix the environment, I mean, look at Volkswagen. They actually lied and their lie made them successful. Yeah. But here you get someone like the CEO of Pepsi who's actually really trying to do good, but the public doesn't want to listen. So I think maybe she had to take a survey or do some research and weigh options and see, okay, so such a high percentage or such a low percentage of people want healthier Pepsi. But
how do we introduce it in a way that it doesn't infiltrate the actual sales for Pepsi? Because you know what happens, and you're right. What happens is that Pepsi's now skeptical of all their social responsibility. Now they're going to be like, we're not sure. Hey, we don't know where we fit in the social responsibility space because of their past. And I mean, 5 years, 10 years of that, of them losing out on people is crazy.
So yeah, like I think that was really. It wasn't thought out properly and it wasn't researched properly, and maybe they would have had a better outcome or a different outcome, if they'd done just proper research. But okay, we're going to take a short break, a very short break. Please don't even make your coffee. It's going to be very short.
Don't blink.
Okay, I'm going to try not to. Let's see how successful Viewer is going to be at it. So we're going to take a short break. When we come back, we will just give you a little bit more information about our topic. Stay tuned.
Hello, boss. I'm not sure the newsletters we're sending are working.
What do you mean?
Well,
The newsletters take a lot of time to put together, but we're not getting the returns. I'm not even sure that our clients are reading them.
Well, I guess it's old technology. You have to stop doing what you're doing to read our newsletter, and a lot of us don't have the time anymore.
So, what do you think? Is there a new way of reaching our existing databases?
Lebo, get hold of brandlive.co.za. It's a brand platform that allows companies, organizations, and people of interest to harness the power of talk radio. It's a radio station that allows brands to have their own radio shows.
That sounds amazing. So it's brandlife.co.za. Goodbye newsletters.
Yes, it's brandlive.co.za, harnessing the power of talk radio.
Alrighty, means brandlife.co.za. We're back at it, and you are tuned into the social show with myself, Viwe, and Libika. So before the break, short break, we were speaking about CSI and CSR strategies that have gone really wrong, and we highlighted Volkswagen, Holiday Inn, as well as Pepsi. But we're going to continue the conversation, and I wanted to ask, Libika, I don't know if you've heard about these. I think you have, obviously. The Public Eye Awards, right? So the Public Eye Awards are the first of their kind in the world. They started in 2000 and went on to 2015, and I don't think they've actually had them in 2016. However, the Public Eye Awards are a counter event to the annual World Economic Forum meeting, which happens every year, and they basically focus on substantial criticism of purely profit-oriented globalization companies and their effects on the corporate social responsibilities. So basically, you get awarded, if you're a company, you get awarded for the horrible jobs you have done to the economy, to the environment, to the society, to everyone at large. So they really shine a light on the really horrible things that these companies are doing for profit. I think it's important because you, as a company, you don't want to be nominated.
No,
so you need to make sure you're on point. So anyway, do you have an example?
Yes. I remember in 2010, I read that the Public Eye Award in the category Swiss and People was given to the Swiss healthcare company for the selling of the drug, let me just get this correct, Celcept, in China, where over 90% of the organs for transplantation came from executed prisoners against their own will.
What? So you're saying to me that they sold the organs of prisoners who died, obviously, against their own will?
Against their own will. 90% of all the prisoners. So that's a large amount.
That's like, who are you leaving behind? Like, it's probably the ones that are sick or anything. That's horrible.
That is so horrible. Like, I don't even know what to say.
And you think, something that's like what is it? What's it called?
The Swiss and People. No. Swiss healthcare company.
When you think health, you think people are being saved. Not they're being ripped off, like their organs are being stolen. It's basically stealing their organs. I mean, no matter what kind of crime you've committed, and you have the right to your organs. I mean, who has the right to tell you that your eyes are going to be taken away from your body? People have religious reasons for that. I think that's horrible. Okay, in 2006, Chevron won the Environment Award for allowing highly toxic waste water to flow into the Amazon in Ecuador for over 30 years. For cost-saving reasons, they did not pump the wastewater back into the earth, which is what, you're supposed to do, or was the normal practice back at the time. And to this day, Libika, they still refuse to pay for the environmental consequences and health problems in local communities in Ecuador. I think it's staggering.
I mean, all I heard was money, money, money.
Yes.
It's all about money. They don't want to give out more money. And I mean, it's helping the environment,
They're killing the environment.
Exactly. Just give out a little bit more money just to
fix what you did.
Exactly. But
I mean, be responsible for your actions. I mean, Chevron is these motor companies is a huge company, and everyone knows it all over the world, and they're pumping wastewater into the Amazon. And the Amazon itself is a world site. Like, you have to go and see the Amazon or understand where it is. And, obviously it's gotten a lot of flack because a lot of people are cutting down trees there. A lot of people are just destroying the natural habitat. And I mean, this is horrible. It's going into the water. How many organisms are in the water? How many people drink that water? How many? Imagine the local communities in that area that are affected by that, and they don't even want to rectify it. I mean, that is horrible. And that was only in 2006, and I think still to this day, they have not accepted the responsibility of making sure that they fix their problem.
I think,
wow,
sometimes we're so ignorant, and you only open your eyes when something happens close to you.
Yeah.
And they couldn't care less about the people that are affected because it doesn't affect them. Those people aren't their families.
Yes,
and,
I like that. That's so true.
That is just something that people are just selfish in general.
It's profit. It's all about profit.
Okay. So it also brings me back to 2007. I remember I read about Bridgestone. Now, Bridgestone received the global award for the disastrous working conditions at a subsidiary in Liberia.
Wow.
Now, the workers lived in mud huts. The children were forced to work, and they had to handle highly toxic materials without protection. How on earth do you, as a boss, do that to your workers, do that to your employees, who at the end of the month brings your company profit?
Wow. It's all about, free labor, cheap labor. And whenever you think cheap labor, you think of third world countries. You think of Cape Town. I'm saying Cape Town. You think of Africa.
Yes.
You think, India. And those are the most affected countries by these big countries, companies trying to really use them for cheap labor, not really caring the repercussions of it. I mean, imagine entire local communities were being... They were susceptible to this toxic material, and there was no protection, Libika. Like, they were inhaling all the stuff. They were working for probably minimum wage, and they also contributing to their ultimate deaths.
But so, I'm sure so many people died because of that. Because
definitely.
Inhaling toxic materials every single day.
How many people were probably, I don't even think they know how many people were affected and how many people died. And it's time that we as Africans stand up and we say, you know what, enough is enough.
Yes.
If you're going to come into our country, these are the CSR implications, and this is the law that you need to abide by. I mean, we do need, the economic investment. We do need it. But I mean, there needs to be a more conscious awareness of the people that are in that community and how they're going to be affected. They need jobs. They need economic prosperity. They don't need to die 2-3 years later. It's another indication of how, the West just doesn't care about Africans. And it's very important that we, and I love the public eye awards, and I think South Africa needs to have that, or Africa needs to have that. So we can put the necessary highlighters on these corporates who think they can come and leave us with these diseases. It's staggering and it's sad. And Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter.
Definitely.
All lives matter.
Yes. Okay, but I just feel like, or I hope and I pray that the Public Eye Award has, or all the companies that received Public Eye Awards has really investigated or really changed what they've been doing, because really this should be an eye-opener, and this is really an eye-opener to me, that you can't live like this. You can't have companies and do stuff like this and not worry about your employees and not worry about the environment, yet you still want to check at the end of the month. That is really selfish, and it's really wrong. So I hope, like Viwe said, that the Public Eye Award comes to South Africa as well, because I'm sure there are so many other companies or organizations that we do not know of.
That are in Africa, they're exploiting Africans.
Yes.
Imagine.
So
it's very important that we shine a light on the Public Eye Awards. I think they did an amazing job. I don't know. I think a lot of companies were like, they need to shut down because they were really telling the untold stories about really bad CSR initiatives done by these corporates that we so love and these brands that we love. And it's very important. But I think, it's one thing for us to talk about and shine light on these really bad, good initiatives, or trying to be good initiatives. But it's important that we understand why companies can't really invest or invest poorly. It's very important that we sort of shine the light on those little things that they can maybe change or they can maybe improve on during the the implementation of
Yes.
investments and responsibilities.
Yes, of course. Okay, and just, to wrap up, what we've said, I think the focus of a CSR campaign is not on doing just good. The focus is on contribution, communicating to the stakeholders and also being part of them, and when doing a CSR campaign, I think the purpose is not to publicize doing a good deed, but otherwise if that happens, the CSR itself would be considered just another marketing campaign.
Definitely.
And as a company, I think, or companies should be aware of their goals and objectives, their products and services,
Yes.
and their role towards the community and making it better.
Yes, and I also no, definitely, and I think also another reason why CSR dies is the lack of transparency. When the audience sleeps and then wakes up the next day to see a brand doing something good just for the sake of it, there is actually no transparency, which raises questions. A true CSI or CSR campaign depends on making the people aware of why we are doing these deeds, what are the benefits, and how it is relevant to our brand. Don't alienate the people from the equation and expect them to follow you just because you're doing good.
Yeah.
Remember, CSI is for the people, guys, for the communities, and it's supposed to strengthen the fact that you, as a big company or corporate, belong to the community in which you work in.
Yeah, definitely. And I think companies should also be aware of their strengths and focus or really just try and show off their strengths and instead of their weakness, or look at their weaknesses and see
use
what
their
they can.
strengths. That's the thing.
See what they can to change. And I also, just to add, marketers are also good at marketing. They're good at marketing and they can lead a CSI initiatives or a CSI initiative, but I think that they cannot plan an effective CSI campaign, and they shouldn't be
That's
used
so
for
true.
that.
Companies need a dedicated CSI team that should be in place with the right research capabilities to understand the needs of the community and the company, the place that it sort of works in.
Yes.
So marketing team, yes, but the marketing team needs to use what you already have and market it, but they cannot come up with the strategy. And lastly, just my last words, is that we need to look at preventative measures instead of trying to fix.
Wow.
The more we look at the preventatives, the better it is for us to have sustainable innovations and sustainable investments and sustainable responsibility. Imagine if Chevron had really, invested in understanding how they can actually really help the environment instead of now having to have the backlash of fixing it because they messed it up. So preventative, let's prevent and let's not try to fix.
Definitely. And wow, Viwe, I think you couldn't have said it better. Definitely. That is really, really very important remarks made by you. Okay, so I think that's the end of our show. Please let us know what you think on social media. Mention us on Twitter at Social1TV and Instagram, if you're on Instagram, at TV_CSI. And please don't forget to use the hashtags BrandLive and Social Show.
Yes, it was great.
Until tomorrow.
Have you ever thought of the power of talk radio and what it can do for your business? Well, brandlive.co.za has been developed with that in mind and brings you an international first. The brandlive.co.za internet radio platform gives businesses a new voice and opportunity to change the conventional communication platform that a newsletter represents. Facilitated by leading industry experts, the brandlive.co.za platform offers a high-quality digital talk radio medium for companies to communicate their new developments, create customer-centric radio content, develop an added value in terms of client relations, and create a better flow in terms of feedback and interactivity to their existing customer base and market. Simultaneously, the platform can also open a brand or business to a new group of potential customers. Technology is constantly shaping the way we communicate and consume information, which presents your business with a simple and affordable way to address your customer or client in a modern, multifaceted setting. Internet radio is now available for your business, a powerful corporate branded tool to complement your existing communication platforms. In today's competitive market, you need to use every tool available to retain and cultivate loyal customers. Online corporate branded radio offers you an exciting range of communication tools uniquely tailored to your brand and addressing your communication challenges. With the brandlive.co.za radio platform, you have the power to brand your business in the way you like. You are able to develop content with your own production team and have the opportunity to interact with your customers in real time on issues such as quality assurance, customer service, and any other operational matters. Brandlive.co.za. Now your brand has a voice.